Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Friday! It is Friday, right? Anyways, day number 10, self-love. We are just finishing up the second week. It's kind of incredible, right? Wow, this one is a long one. Yeah, that one's a long one. Okay, good. It's only one page. I managed to fit it in one page. Um, anyways. Let's just do this. All right, let's do this. Apparently, I have a hole in my lip. Anyways, you gotta love the lives, right? You gotta love the lives. So let's see. Ooh, this is a good one. Give yourself permission to love your body. Give yourself permission to love your body. Your body is a gorgeous and fantastic tool for exploration. Your body wasn't made only to be aesthetically pleasing to the rest of the world. It's not an elaborate vase. It is a tool that enables you to accomplish all of your life's goals. Climb, eat, go places, go to work, knit, excuse me, as if it were your child. Take care of your body with nothing but love and knowledge, with nothing but love and knowledge, and that everything is ideal just the way it is. Loving yourself and falling head over heels with your appearance is what self-love is all about. We are instructed that achieving the ideal body will make us happy. You are familiar with that kind. It is an unattainable beauty standard frequently airbrushed over. No matter how much weight you lose, goods you buy, or surgery you have, a body cannot contain happiness. Um, I added to that and said, it is up to you to obtain that happiness. So I know I kind of tripped over that, didn't I? Giving yourself permission to love your body is probably the single-handed self-love thing for many, many people. It goes beyond checking in with yourself emotionally. It goes beyond um, being unique and tightening your circle. Good morning, Allie. It goes way beyond that. And when we give ourselves permission to love our bodies, no matter what body we're in, okay, whether it fits society's standards or not, just love your body. It has taken me years to get to the point where I'm at now, where it's like, okay, it is what it is. I've talked about, weight loss and stuff because, I do have a heart I need to take care of that's a little more banged up than most people's. So, since birth. So, it's something that I need to take care of. But I used to shame myself. I used to get people saying, but it's about your health. It's about this. It's about that. Or, you hear the snide comments when you're out and about. And let me put it this way. I have been skinny and I have been plus size and I've been everywhere in between. And no matter what weight I've been, there's always someone making that snarky comment. Always, 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 always. That person making that comment about you, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them because they're struggling with something. Either they need to feel superior to everyone else because maybe in their personal life they're not. Maybe there's something behind their doors that makes them feel less than. Maybe, it's a certain type of upbringing that they might have had that makes them look down. I mean, we're all born with a blank mind, okay? What people fill it with as we're growing up is we're conditioned. We're conditioned to think certain ways. My mom struggled with her weight my entire life. I don't know if she struggled with her weight before that or just after she gave birth to me or what. I've seen pictures of my mom before I was born and she was skinny mini. But after, and I'm not really sure when, I never really asked her. She struggled with her weight. I do think in some respects she was an emotional eater, but I'll never know. My mom could be very close-lipped about certain things. She was very strong and I think that's how she kept her strength. She just didn't talk about her stuff. So that being said, we have to find a way to be kinder to ourselves. I'm not saying gain a lot of weight and learn how to love yourself that way. That's what worked for me, believe it or not, because I finally had to stop shaming myself. When I stopped shaming myself, I believe it or not, I actually started losing weight. Now, this isn't about weight loss, this isn't about weight gain. Okay. And I say weight gain because there's a lot of people out there who are very thin or want to be more muscular, or they want, this isn't just about women. This is about men too. And however you identify, it's about looking at something that you think other people want to see, that you think will turn on other people. You may be down on the way you look, you may be down on who you think you are or how you think the world perceives you, but what matters is what you see. Remember, I told you this is going to be a running theme when I say this. What you say is what you hear, it's what your brain is going to process, and it's going to end up being what you see. And if you constantly see all of the negative things that you hear other people saying, or things that directly get said to you, that's what you're going to see. And you're going to struggle, and it's going to be harder. And becoming a recovering emotional eater is not going to work. If you have any other kind of eating disorder, that's going to happen too. You have girls that are tiny little things, and they're bulimic or they're anorexic because they think that they're not enough. There were people I knew. I mean, I knew somebody, and Sissy Joe was one of them. Sissy Joe, she could eat whatever the hell she wanted, never gain an ounce, never gain an ounce. And if she did, I don't know. But she struggled with her body. She did. I mean, the girl was like between a size 0 and a size 1. She was 5'7". I mean, if she wanted to, she could have gone off and been a model. She was just absolutely what I think society, she fits what society's standards were, but it wasn't enough for her because growing up, she wasn't enough for somebody else. And it's not my place to say who, but if you know Sissy Joe, you know who I'm talking about. And it hurt her. It hurt her. It took older sibling and I years to get her to really kind of see herself. And I'm not even sure if she ever did, or if she just did when she was with us to appease us. But I really feel like, we kind of, I really feel like we really kind of broke through, for her to see who she was and how beautiful she was inside and out. And, I think that's what we need to do for everybody. Instead of tearing down your fellow human being, build them up. You don't know what that person's going through. You might see somebody who's plus size at the mall eating a hamburger and fries. You don't know what they're going through. You don't. You may say, well, that's not healthy. That's not this. That's not that. They may have been on a liquid diet and thought, you know what? I'm tired of starving myself. Or maybe they just got out of the gym and are just, or maybe they're going to go do a 5K or something and they're carb loading. You don't know. And even if they are just sitting there, they might, the most standard possible answer could be that they're emotionally eating. Emotionally eating it's a double-edged sword. It feeds that emotion for a second, but bam, it causes a lot of problems on the other end. But you don't know. They might be hurting. They may have lost somebody. They may have lost something. They just may be in a lot of pain. And then to hear somebody, make comments, we need to be better as humans. We need to be kinder to one another. We need to see that person out there in the world and not comment on them. On the flip side, I think I talked about this before. I'm an avid goer of Comic-Con since 2008. And I think it was 2008, whatever year the movie Twilight came out. Never seen it, but sibling came with me the following year and maybe the year after, and we were in one of those panels. And sometimes it's like I've mentioned before, sometimes when you go to Comic-Con, you have to sit through several panels to get to the one you actually want to see. And, sometimes you'll seat hop trying to get closer and closer. And, on this particular day, we didn't really care. We didn't even care about Twilight, but there were people that did. And boy, let me tell you, there were some catty people. And the funny thing is, when you hear me say catty people, the first thing you're thinking of, oh, those teenagers. No, they were grown adults like me, making all kinds of catty comments about some of the women on stage. Oh, she's a slut. She's a whore. She's this. You don't know what she's going through. Just because she's pretty and built nicely doesn't mean that she's a slut or a whore. I mean, these are literally words that came out of their mouths. And sibling said something, kind of under her breath, but loud enough for them to hear. And they think they didn't realize how loud they were. But these were grown women. Then you see the next person come up and they're completely wholesome, right? And they're, oh, well, that's the way a woman should be. Why? Why, and I can't remember exactly what sibling said, but I remember saying, jealousy is an ugly color for people, you know, or jealousy looks ugly on other people. And she was not wrong, but here's the thing. When we tear other people down, especially people we don't know, but when we tear other people down, it just makes us look stupid. Those women look stupid. I mean, their kids were sitting in front of them, they're teenagers, and even they were sinking in their seats. And I was just like, I was shaking my head. I could not believe it. I could not believe that these people were doing that. But that's why, for us, we need to give ourselves permission to love our body, because there's going to be people out there that are going to have opinions. There's going to be people that give you the side eye, the people that make the snarky comments, the people that, just look at you and, make you feel bad about yourself. And we have the choice to ignore that. And the best way to do that is when we embrace our self love. I mean, it's just like, okay, so Allie says, words hurt so much. It's about time we all grew up and shared positivity and said, hey, I agree. I agree. Why are we tearing each other down? I have friends of all shapes and sizes, all shapes and sizes. And, I have been all shapes and sizes. This isn't about being thick or thin. Body positivity is not about being thick or thin. See, most people look at body positivity and think of it as, a plus size person's problem or issue. It's not. Body positivity is across the board. I know people who are weightlifters who have had, body dysmorphia. It wasn't enough for them. They weren't big enough. They weren't strong enough because there was always somebody else that looked bigger than them. They didn't have enough muscles. Their muscles had muscles and they didn't have enough muscles. I know kids that, they gain 2 pounds and it's like, I'm fat, and it's sometimes it's not even parenting. That's just what they hear at school. They'll hear someone go, oh, I gained a pound. And then all of a sudden you start noticing every flaw they have because they've just put themselves down. The best way to combat hate and anger and somebody's jealousy and their hurtful words is to just live your best life, to just ignore them. Give yourself that permission to love your body. Give yourself that permission to love who you are from head to toe, inside and out. If you don't feel like you fit society's standards of they think you should look like, screw them. That's what that whole, what was it? What day, whatever, day 6. So that was Monday. Be unique. Being unique is being you. It's embracing that beautiful person or that handsome person in the mirror and saying, you know what? I am enough. I literally have that written on my mirror in dry erase marker. I am enough. I used to have a million things on my regular bathroom mirror at home. I'm still at my dad's house, but at home. And because I have a big mirror, right? It's like 2 mirrors. And I had all kinds of stuff. And then I realized it became a little overwhelming. And so I have a little heart where my face goes while I'm brushing my teeth and the words I am enough right above it to remind myself. To remind myself. And why? Because no matter how passionate I may seem about this, and no matter how passionate I may sound about what I'm saying, I still fall victim to my own thoughts. I still fall victim to other people's opinions. I still fall victim to the nasty things that, you hear other people say about other people, and then you look at yourself and go, and then you hope you're not seen. I actually had someone tell me once that if I lost weight, I'd find a man. Who says that? But, oh, well, you're a very pretty girl, but if you lost weight, you'd probably not be single. I'm sorry. Here's what I have to say to that. If you can't accept me where I'm at now, then you can't accept me when I get to where I need to be. And I only need to get to where I need to be because I want to make sure I live a long time. 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I wanted to lose weight because I thought that that meant I could find somebody. I thought that that meant that, that's what, a man would want. But as I think it was Marilyn Monroe that said it, but who, I'm not really sure. But if they can't accept me at my worst, they don't deserve me at my best. But you know what? Your best applies to any size that you are. It's like I mentioned, I have to lose weight for my own personal health. But as to finish my other thought, 3 years ago, even probably less than that, I wanted to lose weight because I thought that's what, would get me somebody. I thought that was what would make someone see me. If they can't see me the way I am now, fuck it. All right? Seriously, just fuck it. And it's not meant to be mean to somebody else. It's just, you're not, this changes over time. Thank you, Allie. No one has the right to judge you. No one has the right to judge you, ever. But they're going to do it. So you get to make the choice of whether or not you let their words hurt you. Just remember, a lot of times when people are being snarky or catty or whatever, there's probably something going on inside of them. There's probably something very painful, very hurtful. It could be a trigger. Like those three women that were sitting there being catty at Comic-Con, right? Maybe their husbands are one of those that just, see the TV and they see it like a hot woman and all of a sudden it's like, ooh, wow, and maybe the wife feels inadequate because he doesn't look at her that way or he doesn't say those things about her. She doesn't know that he doesn't say it to his friends, but he's not saying it to her. My parents, on the surface at least, and I'm pretty sure underneath, never really had that problem. Mom would ogle the TV, dad would ogle the TV, but they loved each other and they said that to each other. And my, oh boy, it didn't matter. It would make me mad. They'd be fine, and I'd be like, hey, mom's sitting right there or dad's sitting right there, and it's like, my dad's like, I don't care. I know she loves me. She wakes up to me, next to me every day. Or yeah, he wakes up to, next to me every day. And it's like, I would get jealous for them. But, it's because there was pain inside of me. It's like, I wasn't mature enough to understand, I guess, what they were, how their relationship worked. And, you know, it, I'm sure that, somewhere out there are a lot of people like that. But, like I said, maybe those women were catty because they're not getting what they need in their own personal life. So, tell your friend or somebody, one of the things I learned during other series of self love that I've done is, it's okay to compliment a stranger. I had a lady stop me one day when I was wearing one of my sundresses. She, I love that dress. And I don't know if she said it to me because, I had tears in my eyes and she just wanted to make me feel good about myself, or if she actually liked the dress, or both. But the first thought that came to my head was like, thank you so much. And it cheered me up. It made me smile. Then, of course, I overthought it later. But it doesn't matter because whatever it was, whether she was just trying to make me smile or she actually liked my dress, it was a compliment. And it was someone I didn't know. I have this weird random thing when I'm, like when I pass people that smell really good. I'm allergic to floral perfumes. So even though they smell really pretty, they give me headaches. And I mean, it could be the most minimal amount of time next to somebody, I will get that headache. So most of the time, the colognes, the scents I notice most are man scents. Like when a guy wears cologne or something. And I know this is one of those weird things where there's just no filter, right? I'll get into an elevator and it's just like, I don't mean this to sound weird, but you smell really good. And it's like, I'm never sure if it makes them feel uncomfortable, but they usually smile and go, thanks. And so then I'll try to find something on somebody else. So, and you're not singling one person out. It's like, hey, I like that dress or I like that purse. But every compliment I give, I mean. So even if it takes me a second to look at somebody else to find something on them that I like, I'm being genuine. It doesn't cost anything to be kind. If you're seeing someone wearing a shade of lipstick that you absolutely love, hey, oh my God, I love that lipstick. I've been trying to find it. And if they're not super shy, or, they'll probably say thank you and I got it here. If they're super shy, they'll probably just say thank you. So don't worry about it. You could even add a little bit more to make them less uncomfortable and say, where did you get that? But that's a whole different subject. But it doesn't cost a lot. It doesn't cost anything to give a compliment. And what does this have to do with giving yourself permission to love your body? Because when we start to learn or start to love everything about ourselves, inside and out, we're filling our cup. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And a lot of times we will fill our cups with the joys of other people only to have our cup empty when we're out of that situation, when we get home. Self-love isn't just about, you know, looking at yourself in the mirror and going, oh, you look great today. No, self-love is about looking at yourself in the mirror with your hair messed up, with no makeup on or no whatever, waking up, in the morning and your hair is sticking out in every direction. I have curly hair. So, I mean, sometimes it looks like I've been to a rave and fell asleep, in my spit. Okay. So, so I look at my hair and it's just like, should I take a picture and send this to my sisters? Because it's hilarious. But it's those moments, looking at yourself in those moments and saying, you are enough. And you know what? You're pretty freaking hilarious right now with that hair. But I love you anyway. That's what self-love is. Self-love is it isn't just so we can pour from a full cup. It's so that we can look at the world with our head held high, where the words don't hurt us, the opinions don't hurt us, and if they sting for a moment, they don't last. Right? Like, like a quick pinprick, or when you're getting your blood drawn, right? It just hurts for a second, a split second. And then you're like, I don't care what they think. But it's also not retaliating. Sometimes, oh, it's so hard. But oh yeah, see, good morning, T. I'm so excited. I got Allie and T on here. I got the UK and Kansas on here. So T says, you never know, your kind words might just be what they needed to hear. Exactly. They might just be what they needed to hear. Like that one day when I looked so just out of my mind that day, and the woman complimented my dress. It was just, it turned it around. It turned it around before I could take it to a whole new level and let it ruin my day. And it was just kind of like, thank you so much. And I told her, I said, thank you. I really needed that. I'm like, I really needed that. And she said, well, she's, oh, you're welcome. And that was that. Never saw her again. And it is at the same store I go to all the time, same grocery store near my actual house. So, what T said, what Allie said, it's true. We need to be more positive. We need to build one another up, especially, the women in this world, um, I don't know. I always say the women because you always see the memes that talk about the women, but the men and the women, and like I said, however you identify, that's not, I don't care, you know, that's not a problem for me, but however you identify, but, we should all, as human beings, lift ourselves up so we can lift other people up. Be kind, you know, um, I have literally been in situations where um, I have heard somebody say something horrible to somebody else. And, you want to go after that person and just, scratch their eyes out. But instead, while I was sitting there staring at the people, just giving them the dirty look, sibling slipped away and was comforting the person. Like, hey, are you okay? Don't worry about it. Just, I don't know what she said, but they felt better and they hugged. They hugged after. That's the kind of people we need to be. Oh, thank you, Allie. You're so sweet. You do too. You bring a ray of, both of you on here right now, bring a ray of sunshine to my day. I love my UK friends. I do. I mean, I love my friends all over. And, I've been fortunate enough to meet T in person. we had a mutual friend. We all, the one game I told you I've been playing for years now. I met her and our other friend who passed away sadly last June, and I was fortunate enough to meet them both in person. So I gotta get my ass to the UK so I could meet all my friends there. You know, I mean, they're all scattered, right? You got them in yeah, they're all scattered. I have friends in London, I have friends in the countryside, I have friends in northern England, and scattered all around. And I'm not exactly sure where each place is. I just know where my other friends are because they used to live in California. So when I went to London, I actually went to visit them. But so I know they're in like Northampton or somewhere near there. But yeah, oh, I love you too, T. Thank you. But these are women who do spend their time building each other up because we've all been torn down by one person or another. We've all been hurt by somebody. Whether you go through trauma or not, whether you have a dinged up mental health or not. I do, but whether you have any of those or not, there's always something in our life that is going to upend us. There's always those words that people are going to say, and not all of us are equipped to handle it well. So this is why we really, really need to trust our self-love, all right, and really, really embrace it. Like I said yesterday, self-love is the foundation. Self-love is the foundation of that house of self-love that you're trying to build. To me, in my personal opinion, self-love is the foundation for self-worth, self-esteem, confidence, self-respect, self-acceptance, all those beautiful self things, right? Self-care. Self-care is like the front door to that house. Oh, well, I get it, Allie. That's just the world. That's just, honestly, that's the world. And sometimes maybe we need to visit somewhere else so that we can spread our sunshine, spread our rays of light. So um, I've I grew up between Canada and Mexico, but way closer to Mexico. And Mexico it's in certain areas because of previous, people who have run the country. It's kind of, fallen by the wayside, this beautiful, beautiful country. And, you have a lot of sad things that happen just on the other side of the border. So, but you find the joy in certain things, and you find that, it helps us appreciate our own situation. So, um, oh, thank you. You know what? You know what? Okay, so thank you for the kind words, Allie. If you guys want to read these comments, you can, but these are a little more personal, so I'm not going to share them on the live. Um, but uh, but thank you, because that's why I do this show. Even if it's just one damn person, not damn person, but one person that I touch, that's the goal, right? It's to be there for that one person that needs to hear the message, whether it's somebody I know or someone out there who watches this later that says, "Oh my god." I mean, I've done that. I have seen other people share their stories, put their entire life out there for other people to see, really kind of expose themselves, as I have started to do. And it touched me because you don't feel alone. You don't feel alone. I had a CSA trauma when I was a child, and it stuck with me for years. And I didn't pick the best in relationships because I couldn't change myself, so I wanted to change somebody else, but we can't. So what I was going to say to Allie right now is, if you can, get a journal. It could be just a pad of loose leaf paper, right? Part of the journey of self-love is shadow work. Shadow work is a bitch. It's very hard. But for me, to be honest with you, it reminded me of my first real good session of therapy, 6 months of intensive therapy. I always tell people that it literally, I felt like my soul was ripped into shreds and I had to piece it back together like a puzzle. But a lot of times what I said is, it hurt so bad, it was like being skinned alive and being placed in alcohol. I don't know what that feels like, but I know when I have a cut, how bad that hurts when it hits alcohol. So I can only imagine. But and it's a little extreme. But it was soul crushing and yet soul building. And that's what we need to do. That's what shadow work is. Shadow work is getting to the very depths of what is hurting you so that you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I've been through this, that, and the other. I've had bad relationships. I've known stupid people that just really hurt me and, destroyed me in every way. And then you can hold your head high and say, you know what? Fuck you. Because you know what? You didn't break me. You didn't break me. Excuse my language, guys. This is just me. This is just me. Okay, I have a bit of a potty mouth. But I don't care. I should, but I don't. Um, don't worry, I don't swear around kids. I do not, and especially my nephews. Um, but yeah, all that being said, starting today, including you, Miss Allie, stop beating yourselves up. All right, give yourself permission to love your body. Give yourself permission to love you. Love who you are. Anybody who watches this, okay, anybody who watches this, whether you're on here live or going forward, myself included. Okay, I'm still human. I still trip myself up with my own thoughts. And it's like I told Sibling the other day. She asked me how I was doing, and I said, the monkeys in my circus, my brain, got loose, and they've all discovered a case of Red Bull. And she's all, that's pretty descriptive. And it's like, that's about how my brain feels right now. And sometimes it's funny. Other times it's just kind of like, dear God, what is happening in my head? So, we just do what we do. All right. So I'm going to read this one more time and then I'm going to let y'all go. So your body is a gorgeous and fantastic tool for exploration. Your body wasn't made only to be aesthetically pleasing to the rest of the world. It's not an elaborate vase or vase. It is a tool that enables you to accomplish all of your goals, like climbing, eating, going places, going to work, knitting, as if it were your child. Take care of your body with nothing but love and knowledge that everything is ideal just the way it is. Loving yourself and loving yourself and falling head over heels with your appearance is what self-love is all about. It's not just what self-love is all about, but I see where they're going here. We are instructed that achieving the ideal body will make us happy. You are familiar with that kind. It is an unattainable beauty standard, frequently airbrushed over. There are models out there that will tell you that they are airbrushed, and they get upset about it because they work hard and they're still not perfect enough. So they get airbrushed or they get slimmed in the picture, and they're already thin. So you got to read between the lines with some of the, a lot of the models will come out and say, that's not my body. That's not my body. Because they want to also promote self-love. It may not seem like it because they're out there running around in the body most people want, right? But even they struggle from time to time. So no matter how much weight you lose, goods you buy, or surgery you have, a body cannot contain happiness. And I added to that because I believe that's incorrect. It is up to you to obtain that happiness. It is up to you to fill your cup with your own self-love. Right? So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you all have a great, great weekend. I'll be back here Monday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public. Anybody can watch under my name, Shelly Marie Lucas. I also pretty much stretch this into 5,000 gazillion social media places. So if you follow me anywhere there, it's either under the Aloha Perspective or Shelly Marie Lucas. I want to thank Tanya and Allie for coming on today. I appreciate it. I appreciate your input. I appreciate your words. I love both of you. Absolutely love you both. Allie, love you too, girl. Love you too. And these are what friends are. Sometimes we think friends are just people that are standing right next to us. I haven't even met Allie in person, and yet we're already like, to the place where I love you, girl. I love you too. Take care of you, and T, same thing. Same thing. We got to the love place before we even met. So, it's just finding that circle of people that build you up and make you feel good about yourselves, that you can have a good conversation with, that you can talk to. All right. So again, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you, ladies, so much for watching, and I will see everybody back here on Monday. Have a great day.